I stood behind the counter at Comet Street Coffee, the fluorescent lights buzzing like distant gunfire, a sound that always pulled me back to my military days. At 28, I was Aria Mendoza, a former Army medic scarred by betrayal, first from a commanding officer who pinned his mistakes on me, leading to my dishonorable discharge, and now from my own family. My mother, Lydia, and stepfather, Pastor Brent, drained me dry with endless loans for their church, leaving me buried in debt. That foggy November morning, the rush was relentless. Nurses, cops, and the faithful from New Dawn Fellowship, all expecting discounts I couldn't give. Mrs. Higgins dropped a fake bill tracked instead of a tip, a reminder of how they twisted faith into guilt. I kept receipts of every cent they owed me, a habit born from logging battlefield supplies. Paper never lied, unlike people. An old man in a navy peacoat approached, his weathered face etched with stories like the scars on my arms from shrapnel. "Black coffee," he graveled, eyes landing on my receipt stack. "Smart habit," he said, tapping his card. I turned away, but the screen later showed a $1,500 tip. Shock froze me. Rent money, loan payments, or another church need? He vanished into the fog, but his words lingered. "Keep those records. Family drama's messy." Little did I know, this tip was no mistake. It was the spark to ignite my long-buried fire for justice. The $1,500 sat pending in my account like a lifeline amid the wreckage of my life. Back in my cramped studio, I texted Mom a photo of the receipt, downplaying it to $500 to test her. Her reply was instant. Emojis of praise, then, "God provides through your ministry service. We need it for the women's retreat." Rage boiled. My service? I'd bled in uniform, only to be betrayed by a system that discarded me like faulty gear. Now, family echoed the theft. Scrolling my bank app, a credit inquiry alert flashed. North Star Finance, unauthorized. Exhaustion hit. I swiped it away, collapsing into fitful sleep haunted by military courtrooms and family pleas. 2 days later, my phone erupted at dawn. Alerts of drained savings, a $19,800 loan dispersed, airline charges. My $11,600 studio build fund, scraped from double shifts and freelance photography, was gutted to $7.39. Panic surged. I called the bank, learning Mom was an authorized user from a 6-month-old emergency form I'd signed in haste. Civil matter, they droned. Storming to their pristine home, I found luxury items bought with my blood money, a Canon R5 camera, cruise brochures. They gaslit me, called me unstable, threatened my clients. I fled, defeated, but that $1,500 receipt burned in my pocket, whispering revenge. Rain soaked me as I trudged home, the cops' dismissal echoing. Domestic dispute, take it to small claims. Betrayal layered on betrayal. The military had labeled me unreliable after my CO's lies, costing me benefits and trust. Now family painted me crazy. Clutching the receipt, I remembered the old man's words. Paper is clean. In my apartment, I spread bank statements like mission maps. Jenna, my analyst roommate, joining with her laptop. "No narratives, arithmetic," she commanded, creating a ledger. We uncovered patterns, loans in my name, maxed cards for their luxuries. Calls to relatives revealed the con. Cousin Logan lost $4,000 to a church van lie. Half-sister Marin, $10,000 for a wedding deposit vanished. Aunt Ruth confessed $50,000 invested in a fake facility, terrified by IRS threats. Jenna's spreadsheet correlated thefts to their splurges: Lexus, suits, jewelry. Structured con, she said. Group chat ledger circle formed, victims sharing affidavits. My credit score plummeted to 541, but fury hardened my resolve. As hate messages flooded from the congregation, calling me possessed, I scanned more docs. Silence became my weapon. The old man's tip had bought me time to build an arsenal of truth. Jenna mirrored their cloud storage stealthily, uncovering shell companies like Cypress Line Consulting funneling church funds offshore. My military discipline kicked in. I treated this like recon, mapping timelines of theft. We found forged signatures, elder abuse against congregants. Aunt Ruth's affidavit detailed coercion. She joined our circle, her quiet strength inspiring. As Brent preached sermons on forgiveness, we emailed the church board anonymized evidence. Their response: defensive posts labeling me spiraling, rallying prayers against my demons. The backlash intensified. Clients like Sunrise Pantry dropped me after Brent's smear emails. Isolation gripped me, echoing post-discharge loneliness. But the $1,500 funded a burner phone and P.O. box for safety. We contacted the Attorney General, bundling the honor file. Receipts, logs, affidavits. Days blurred into audits. Their panic showed in frantic transfers. A Patek Philippe watch listed for sale online signaled flight. Dana, my legal aid lawyer, filed for asset freeze. As they booked one-way tickets to a non-extradition haven, I whispered to the receipt. Paper talks. The noose tightened, but would justice strike before they vanished? The raid hit at dawn. Black SUVs storming their home, warrants for search and asset freeze. From a neighbor's ring cam, I watched Brent drop his mug as detectives entered. They seized laptops, shredders, credit cards in victims' names, cash envelopes. The safe deposit box yielded $40,000 and ledgers proving embezzlement. Jenna caught their remote wipe attempt, obstruction evidence. The church board suspended them, ordering audits. My bank restored funds, loans voided. Credit flags lifted, score climbing. But they fled anyway, forging emergency passports for Mexico. Airport arrest footage went viral, Monroe cuffing them amid screams of persecution. Bail revoked, charges piled. Fraud, laundering, abuse. Victims' affidavits sealed their fate. Edmund Caro, my grandfather, the tipper, emerged in court, revealing his foundry empire and past embezzlement attempts by Brent. He'd cut them off, watched me from afar. His $1,500 tested my integrity. The letter urged choosing ink over tears. As Lydia hissed ungrateful, handcuffs clicked. But his revelation? A trust fund, activated by my resilience against their betrayal. Courtroom tension peaked as Edmund presented the Caro Resilience Trust. Millions matched 3:1 for my business, conditioned on clean books. She broke the cycle, he declared, pride in his gravel voice. Judge Cho granted freezes, protective orders, remanding them to custody. My scars, military betrayal, family theft, faded slightly. I'd reclaimed my narrative. The $1,500 receipt, laminated now, symbolized victory. But whispers of their trial loomed, federal indictments brewing. Post-arrest, institutions pivoted. Banks reimbursed, church dissolved sham charities. Congregation silence turned to apologies as audits exposed 80% funds misused. Aunt Ruth, under guardianship, reclaimed peace. I met Edmund at his lawyer's, signed the trust, vowing integrity. Sunrise rehired me with a contract. 6 months later, Ledger and Light opened. Coffee front. Photo studio back. Edmund visited, handing the receipt. You remember the cost. As trial neared, I prepared testimony, heart steady. But a leaked plea deal hinted leniency. Would betrayal win again? Trial day dawned stormy, courthouse echoing my pounding heart. As witness, I faced them. Lydia's tearful facade, Brent's glare. Prosecutor grilled their cons. I detailed thefts, showing receipts like battle scars. Defense painted me unstable, military discharge as proof. Rage flared, but discipline held. I countered with logs, affidavits. Edmund testified, exposing 30-year fraud pattern. Jury's eyes hardened. Congregation members, now victims, corroborated elder abuse. Verdict came swift, guilty on all counts. Sentencing loomed, 10 years each, restitution ordered. But Lydia's sobs begged mercy. Brent quoted scripture. Judge Cho, unmoved, slammed the gavel. Maximum time, no parole. Handcuffs clinked as they were led away, Lydia's final glare burning. Outside, rain cleared. Edmund hugged me awkwardly. You fought like a soldier. Yet, whispers of appeals lingered. Would resilience hold against their endless manipulation? Prison gates closed on them, but appeals dragged, lawyers claiming religious persecution. I poured energy into Ledger and Light, mornings pulling espresso, afternoons shooting artisan products. Trust funds matched earnings, studio gleaming with pro gear. Clients returned. Sunrise's campaign won awards. Aunt Ruth visited, baking for the counter, her smile unburdened. Logan fixed my old Honda gratis. Marin hosted family dinners sans drama. Yet, scars ached. Military betrayals echo in their gaslighting. A letter arrived. Edmund's, detailing his own regrets, absent grandfatherhood. We met weekly, bonding over coffee. But a guard's tip revealed Brent plotting from inside, smuggling pleas to donors. Fury reignited. I alerted prosecutors. Indictments expanded, conspiracy. As their empire crumbled fully, I stood taller, but a final twist loomed. Lydia's confession interview. Twisting facts again. Lydia's jailhouse interview aired. Tearful claims of misunderstandings, blaming me for family rift. Viewers split. Some pitted, others raged. Donations trickled to their defense fund. My phone exploded with threats. Military PTSD flared. Nights sleepless. Edmund funded security. Dana sued for defamation. Evidence crushed her lies. Ledgers, videos. Public tide turned. Fund frozen. Donors sued back. Trial appeals failed. Sentences upheld. I testified at restitution hearing, voice steady. They stole more than money, my trust. Court ordered full repayment from seized assets. Checks arrived. My $40,000, Ruth's $50,000, others. Ledger and Light thrived, a haven for creators. But as I framed the receipt behind the bar, a package came and signed, with old photos hinting deeper family secrets. The package held letters. Edmund's to Lydia, pleading reconciliation years ago, rejected for money demands. Photos showed young me, watched from afar. Closure washed over, betrayal's roots exposed. I visited prison. Lydia begged forgiveness. Brent silent. Ledgers balanced. I said, walking away. No pity, just peace. Ledger and Light buzzed. Coffee aromas, camera clicks. Edmund partnered, mentoring. Military scars healed through therapy. I spoke at fraud seminars, empowering victims. Resilience triumphed, from broken daughter to empowered owner. As sun set, a new customer tipped generously, smiling knowingly. Life cycle? No, my power reclaimed. But whispers of released accomplices hinted vigilance eternal.